We're the party of business. We're the party of the economy. We're the party that grows personal wealth.
Elon Musk has had himself a rough couple of days. Not just because he left the White House this week with his tail between his legs, but because, of course, of that shocking New York Times story detailing his drug use and abuse while on the campaign trail and in the White House. And so, as you would expect, Elon Musk has been having himself a little online freakout, trying to shut down these rumors, trying to shut down this story. And in doing so, he's only made it worse, only brought more attention to the subject, especially when he responded to a disturbing clip caught on camera that has a lot of people speculating that, yeah, Elon, you were definitely using a couple of substances at the time. We're going to get into it all. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already, and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way. And it really does mean a lot to me. Now, of course, this isn't the only topic that Elon Musk doesn't want people talking about. We also saw him trying to shut down questions while he was interviewed on CBS, and I want to start with that clip right here.
But the interview didn't get off to a smooth start.
I noticed that all of your businesses involve a lot of components, a lot of parts. Do the tariffs and the trade wars affect any of this?
Tariffs always affect things a little bit.
Wondering what your thought is on the ban on foreign students, the proposal. I mean, you were one of those kids, right?
Yeah, I think we want to stick to, the subject of the day, which is like spaceships, as opposed to, presidential policy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was told anything's good, but...
No.
I wonder why Elon, who previously was more than happy to speak out against the tariffs, he did. He called them out to speak out against the spending, and in Donald Trump's new budget, why is he changing his tune? Why does he not want to talk about this stuff as much? Is he worried that the White House might be releasing information about the way that he was behaving? Is there any chance that the new scandal around Elon Musk's use of some certain stuff that was seen at the White House that they might want to release? Maybe that's what's quelling him. Maybe he just wants to shut that down a little bit. Maybe we just don't talk about that, right? Yeah, Elon wants to keep all this stuff secret. He wants to keep all this stuff under wraps. But at the same time, a new New York Times story is detailing how the same guy who doesn't want you asking any questions of him wants all your private data. Yeah. It only continues to get worse. So before we get into that clip that's resurfaced of Elon, I want to check out this shocking new article. Trump taps Palantir to compile data on Americans. The Trump administration has expanded Palantir's work with the government, spreading the company's technology, which could easily merge data on Americans throughout agencies. In March, Donald Trump signed an executive order calling for the federal government to share data across agencies, raising questions over whether he might compile a master list of personal information on Americans that could give him untold surveillance power. Mr. Trump has not publicly talked about the effort since, but behind-the-scenes officials have quietly put technological building blocks into place to enable his plan. In particular, they have turned to one company, Palantir, the data analysis and technology firm. The Trump administration has expanded Palantir's work across the federal government. In recent months, the company has received more than $113 million in federal government spending since Donald Trump took office, according to public records, including additional funds from existing contracts as well as new contracts with the Department of Homeland Security and the Pentagon. This does not include a $795 million contract that the Department of Defense awarded the company last week, which has has not been spent. Representatives of Palantir are also speaking to at least two other agencies, the Social Security Administration and the Internal Revenue Service, about buying its technology, according to 6 government officials and Palantir employees with knowledge of the discussions Mr. Trump could potentially use such information to advance his political agenda by policing immigrants and punishing critics. Democratic lawmakers and critics have said privacy advocates, student unions, and labor rights organizations have filed lawsuits to block data access, questioning whether the government could weaponize people's personal information. Palantir's selection as a chief vendor for the project was driven by Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. According to the government officials, at least 3 DOGE members formerly worked at Palantir, while 2 others had worked for companies funded by Peter Thiel, an investor and founder of Palantir. So while Elon Musk pretends that he's leaving the White House, is kind of going off into the shadows, he is still going to be heavily involved in our government. And now he has tapped his own DOGE employees, people who worked around him in the tech world, to go start this new project to monitor all our information. Something, of course, Elon is trying to do with Twitter as well as he builds out this funding service. This is what we are seeing from the Trump White House. They want to be spying on us, but of course, they don't like it when you ask them questions. They'll look at your private information, but questions about transparency, not happy. And it's the reason Elon Musk freaked out when this clip got resurfaced. Musk blows up online as ketamine dinner clip resurfaces. Elon Musk issued a current rebuke of ketamine abuse allegations after a viral clip of his erratic behavior at dinner recirculated online. The clip taken in March during a visit to Donald Trump's bed. Mr. Golf Club in New Jersey shows Musk balancing spoons at a dinner table with one of his baby mama's watches in silent concern. At the time, ex-user and retired Army medic Molly Plofkins tweeted the clip with the caption, "Musk playing with his silverware while tripping on ketamine at Bedminster." Amid an explosive New York Times report accusing Elon Musk of using drugs at his Department of Government's efficiency bulldozed its way across the federal government, computer scientist and writer Paul Graham attempted to normalize the clip, the tweet insisting that he does the same thing with his silverware. Responding to the original clip, Graham tweeted, "You don't need ketamine to make these, I always make them. In our family, we call them Robert Towers and Robert Morris, who also makes them." You can see the clip right here of Elon acting just very strangely. And then he responded from his Twitter account to the original poster. "I'm not on ketamine for F's sake." Does Elon Musk not understand that reacting to these clips only makes us believe it more? It just seems more and more like he's paranoid, he's freaking out, he's crazed, which is not a surprise. Continually acting this way. This reporting tracks. It may make sense. Does this not make sense to everyone? Elon Musk has been very public about his drug use, and he's been very weird in public. So I just feel like those things kind of go hand in hand. But why it's so important that we talk about the way that Elon will continue to be in the government is because his companies, because of the amount of federal dollars they take, are supposed to maintain a drug-free workplace. You are not allowed to be abusing drugs the way Elon Musk does while taking billions of dollars of government funding to build rockets of all things. And at the same time, Elon is putting his little Doge bags in place to look at patrol control police, our data, and he gets to play around with it whenever he wants from behind the scenes and pretend that he's gone from Doge. It's just not the case. We have to continue to talk about this because Elon Musk will still be in government whether he acts like it or not. Sure, he's not going to be showing up in the Oval Office in his weird hats and t-shirts as he did before, but he's still going to be intimately involved. And that's why it's so important to continue to make this case against his incompetence, how crazy he is and how corrupt, of course, he is all the time in our government. We have to start fighting back. And that's the message that Tim Walz had, as well as we can see in a great speech right here.
And we're not afraid. I'm not afraid to reach across and work with Republicans. But I'm also not afraid to stand up and say there's no way in hell that we are compromising on basic human rights and basic personal freedoms. So now, we're one of the friendliest states to start a business in. So Democrats, get this. You can stand up for working people. You can stand up for labor unions. You can stand up for fair wage. You can stand up for the idea that health care is a human right. But you can also be, because all of those things make businesses healthier, make the economy healthier, make businesses grow. We're the party of business. We're the party of the economy. We're the party that grows personal wealth. And I'll tell you what, we're also one of the freest states in the country where you make your decisions. We trust you. We're no damn nanny state that tells you what to read and who you sleep with and whatever else you do. Those are your decisions. Those are your decisions. And in the surveys that come out, there's two that I'm really proud of. We were recently ranked the best place to have a child in the country, from health care to the things that we have. And I'll tell you what, this one, we dropped to second in this category, and we got a little more work to do, but I think this matters. When they rate all the 50 states, Minnesota ranks second in happiness. We are the second happiest state. And it's cold as hell, too, and we're still happy. No such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing. The reason I'll settle for second is Hawaii's first, so they're happy as heck. Look, I left a public school classroom at age 41 to run for public office. For that very simple reason all of you are here, to fight for working families just like my own. Now there's those that doubted us, but I'll tell you what. I ran in a district, by the way, I didn't know this, I'm glad I didn't know it. There had only been one other Democrat since 1892 in that congressional district. I know, and you know how it goes. You see this, oh, we can't put money in South Carolina, that's a red state. And I said last night, and I'll say it today, it doesn't look very red to me. It looks pretty blue. Looks pretty blue. Said we couldn't win because we didn't have any experience. You're going to watch candidates come up here and say, I don't know, but I'm running for office. And they'll tell you their name and they're going to do it. Support them. Help them out. What are we going to do? You ever see these races where we don't even run anybody? Look, we got them in Minnesota, trust me. We got these people who I don't know how they get elected, but I don't know South Carolina. This Nancy Mace thing is really something to me. I'm saying it. But just think about it. In 500 days, we work hard, we get somebody up here, she's got to answer for the damage she's done to people, and then you won't see her on TV anymore again, and you'll see someone else. And to the teachers out here, I'm going to encourage you this. You have to listen to people tell you that, oh, I don't know, you're overpaid, you only work 9 months out of the year. You know this. One of the reasons I ran for office, too, was I was sick and tired of people beating up on public servants, like our police, and like our firefighters, and like our teachers, and like our nurses. Look, none of us expected to get rich doing those jobs, but we didn't take a damn oath of poverty to do it. So you pay them. You pay them. And guess what happens when you do that? You get really good people who can afford to buy a house and raise their family, and they serve the rest of us. And the thing is for all of you out there, and I'm speaking to you public school teachers, this is one thing I learned when they told us we weren't going to do this. Just don't ever underestimate a public school teacher. They're pretty damn tough. They're a pretty damn tough group of folks. So look, it's a bit old school in this, and I'm doing some soul searching, and I was the guy who was there during this last one, but I'm convinced there's an appetite out there for this style of governing. This idea of competency, this idea of compassion, this idea of being able to get things done. When you poll people, they love our policies.
I kind of like using that word that we need to bully them back. I think that is an apt description because Trump himself, of course, is a bully. And the only way to respond, as we talk about a lot with Mark Carney, is to just show him how weak he is. Don't be intimidated. Fight back. Who has won against Donald Trump when they bend the knee to him anytime, any corporation, any Republican? Look at CBS. Look at Paramount. You know, we saw them cut back saying, oh, you know, Mr. Trump, maybe we'll settle. You know, we're happy to. We're going to appease you so we can get our merger through. And then the next day, Donald Trump is tweeting, saying that he wants 60 Minutes ripped off the air. Again, it's not how it works. Appeasement just doesn't work. We have to fight back. We have to call these people out for what they are. They're corrupt. They're criminal. They're weird to use. Tim Walz's word, Elon Musk certainly is with the activities that he likes to engage in. It's like, you know, do whatever you want to an extent, but please don't do it while taking billions of dollars of government funding and doing whatever you want with our data. I feel like that's a pretty reasonable ask. Let's make sure that's how we're speaking about these things. It's just so common sense. Elon Musk is incapable of doing anything clearly. And so why is he running our government still? He's got to be done. He's got to be out. I think we should all agree that he needs to be officially fired. Step back, especially if he's going to want to. We're going to call it play with spoons all the time, and we're going to be calling that out on this show. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button. Leave a like on this video, and if you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.